The stars of the movie It Ends With Us, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, have been making headlines, not because of the movie's success, but some serious legal drama. There are lawsuits, allegations, counter lawsuits, and so much more. But why are we talking about Hollywood gossip on a marketing channel? Because there's so many lessons that we can learn from this saga that can help us in our own business. Let's roll. Hi, I'm Shreya, a marketer with 20 years of experience. I post weekly videos to simplify marketing for small business owners and solo entrepreneurs to help you grow your business, including strategies, tips, and action items. If this is something that you're looking for, please consider subscribing. Now let's get started. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, I don't know if you know these actors, they're pretty big. At least Blake Lively is pretty big. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni star in the film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling book, It Ends With Us. The movie itself has been quite a commercial success. I believe it's grossed over $350 million in the box office. But the movie's been in the news not for its commercial success, but because of all the drama that's been around the movie. It all started with some rumors that surfaced around August of 2024 saying that there was some allegations of misconduct on the set. And ever since then, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni have been in the news and there have been a lot of videos posted about them. And then recently, Blake Lively sued Justin Baldoni, alleging sexual harassment and a smear campaign against her. Justin Baldoni has denied these allegations and is pursuing a massive $250 million defamation lawsuit against New York Times for their coverage on this issue. Justin Baldoni and his legal team are also planning to countersue Blake Lively. So this is just the beginning. We're going to hear a lot more about this in the coming months. But this channel is not the channel that you come to hear news about this. So we're going to jump into the marketing lessons that we can learn from this case. Let's get started. The first lesson is to be authentic and to be nice. Blake Lively has been a very well-loved actress, but these last 6 months have been hard for Blake Lively. Videos have resurfaced of her past interviews where she's been seen as a mean girl. In addition to this, Blake Lively has been criticized heavily for frivolously promoting a movie that's based on a very serious topic. Girls, wear your florals and go to the movie. And I'm just realizing that I'm wearing florals today, which, let me assure you, is a huge coincidence. I did not intentionally wear florals, but anyway. All of this tone-deaf communication on part of Blake Lively has been criticized heavily by all the fans, and rightly so. You know, in this day and age of cancel culture, it doesn't take too much for the audiences to just take off, and it could be really harmful to an actor's career or a brand's fortunes. Coming back to our marketing take, what do we take out of here? It is important for the brand or the company to be seen as nice and authentic, even more so in this day and age. Let's take an example. If you're a fitness trainer, you can't be doing communication saying, stop making excuses. In the past, something like this would have worked really well. In today's day and climate, you have to be more inclusive and respectful of other people. So really, empathy and authenticity are non-negotiable today. Lesson number 2. Public perception is everything. While the legal case has started now, the last 6 months, the internet has gone wild with hundreds and thousands of videos being posted. All interviews of Blake Lively have been dragged out. There's a lot of hate going around and it has negatively impacted her. In turn, when Blake Lively filed a complaint against Justin Baldoni, which was covered in New York Times, alleging harassment, Justin Baldoni has been impacted. Again, there were a lot of people giving a lot of hate to Justin Baldoni on social media. Also, he has been a big, outspoken feminist for many years and has also done a TED Talk and won an award. Apparently, one of the awards was rescinded after this whole saga. So this back and forth has negatively impacted both their careers. We don't know what's going to happen going forward, but we do know that it's important for any brand, whether it's a Hollywood brand, a small business, or you're a freelancer, you have to protect your personal brand and manage people's opinions about you. If people are saying good things about you, then it will positively impact your business. So how do we use this learning in our own business? First of all, ensure that you're authentic and nice to your customers, but also try and make it easier for your customers to talk about you to their network, to their friends and family. Ask them to post stories about you, share their experience with you on their social media handle, which in turn you can reshare on your social media channel. Ensure that you take positive testimonials from your clients, which you can share on your marketing channels, including your website, email marketing, and of course, your social media channel. You can also encourage your customers to invite their network to use your product or service by incentivizing them. People are believing people much more than they believe ads or branded content or even influencers. So use this to your benefit. Lesson number 3 is going to sound really basic, but it is so important for any business, any person really, is to have your paperwork in order. You're going to ask me, how did we get this lesson from this whole Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively saga? So when Blake Lively filed a complaint against Justin Baldoni, and there was this massive New York Times article, and we know New York Times has got such a good reputation and it has a lot of good journalists. So New York Times article is actually really damaging for Justin Baldoni. However, when he filed a lawsuit against New York Times, he had all the receipts. He had pages and pages of screenshots which countered every point the New York Times had mentioned in the article from the complaint that Blake Lively has filed. It was amazing. Like, I was going through it. I was really impressed. There were emails, there were messages, and actually it's such a great lesson for us to have our paperwork done, to have backups, to have all your communication, contracts, agreements done, and also ensure that you have your tax filings in order. I've known so many businesses that have suffered severe consequences because they didn't have their paperwork in order. In marketing and business, good organization and preparation can ensure that your brand and your business is protected. So these are the 3 lessons that I could think of. Do you think there's other lessons that I could have talked about? I hope you found this entertaining as well as educational. As a marketer, I love pop culture because you learn so much about what's happening and the pulse of the customer. I like to follow it, and I also love to see what I can learn that will help my business and my client businesses, and now, of course, your business, because I'm here to help all of you do better. I'm here to share my knowledge and enthusiasm. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you think there are more lessons that can be learned from this case, please comment. I look forward to hearing from you. See you next time.